Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to do a review of a premium laptop under the ROG series, the ROG Flow X13. So we have done the ROG Flow X13 last year as well. This is the 2022 edition. Now the important thing about this ROG Flow X13 is that this is a convertible laptop. That means it's a two-in-one laptop. You can actually use it as a tablet as well as a laptop. But the important thing that differentiate the Flow X13 with other two-in-one is that this is under the ROG branding. This is the ROG Flow X13, which means this is specifically made for gamers, and it actually packs a really great hardware. It has a 120Hz refresh rate, and then you get the Ryzen 9 6900 HS with up to 32GB RAM and RTX 3050 Ti. The graphics, dedicated graphics is also included, and you get 1 TB of hard disk and a really premium experience. It is a 16:10 aspect ratio. You get this laptop in both full HD as well as Ultra HD resolution, and it's a premium offering. The one we are testing is a really premium one, close to 2,27,000 is the pricing. So how good is the laptop for gamers and also extreme users like video editing? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So we have been using this laptop for almost like 2 weeks now, and this is our experience using the laptop. So let's begin. So before getting into the detailed aspect, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So let's first have a look at the design and build quality. Now in terms of design aspect, you can see that there isn't much of a difference compared to the 2021 edition. You can see here this is a foldable laptop. That means you can fold it, the hinge to 360 degrees. So you can see here this is how it folds, and you can fold it to 360 degrees and use it as a tablet, or you can even use it for reading. You can see here this is how you can use it for reading. So all the configurations are possible, and you can see that when you turn it fully, this the keyboard is disabled, and you can see that this is the normal form factor which you use, and it looks pretty good in terms of usage. Now in terms of material quality, the back panel is made of metal chassis. You can see there is a pattern here on the back panel which is quite viewable, and this is a two-tone finish. Actually this is slightly darker in finish. Here you can see that this is a bit more lighter in color. Here we have the ROG branding, the 360-degree hinge. Now this also has a ergo lift hinge. That means you raise the laptop a bit because the heat dissipation makes it easier. So that's the ergo lift hinge. Now the front portion, here you can see that this is made of plastic material. You have a full-fledged keyboard, and here we have the trackpad, and the dedicated buttons are also included. The full HD resolution. This is a touch-enabled display. You can see that this is a touch-enabled display, works pretty well. So in terms of design, you can see that the display has minimal bezels here. The top bezels houses the camera. Here we have the bezels, and here you can see that the side bezels are minimal. The bottom bezel has the ROG Flow mentioned. This is slightly on the high side, but otherwise looks good. You have the dedicated buttons here for keyboard, and the hinge is a 360-degree mechanism. Works really well. You can also use the laptop as a flat panel. You can fold it around and use it as a tablet, and also you can watch movies in this mode as well. The tent mode, you can watch movies as well. So that's the design aspect. Now this is just 1.3 kilograms in weight. It may not be the lightest laptop out there, but for this form factor this feels very solid. Especially this has really powerful hardware. For that this definitely looks really good. Next, let's move on to the display. Now this is a full HD resolution display. It's a 120Hz refresh rate. It's a 13.4 inches screen size. Now you get this laptop also in Ultra HD with 60Hz refresh rate, but if you are more into multimedia experience, you can go with Ultra HD version that supports only 60Hz. But if you are more into gaming, then we would suggest the full HD version because it supports 120Hz refresh rate. Now this is also 100% sRGB color gamut, and it is Pantone validated display. The display quality is good. The colors are really vibrant and crisp, and more or less accurate. Even if you are editing videos or images, this gives you good experience overall. The multimedia experience is also pretty good, a solid experience. The touch panel gives additional options when you are working on the laptop, and overall the color quality looks really good on this laptop. And as I said before, this is a Pantone validated display and you get 500 nits of peak brightness, which is pretty good for a premium laptop. So display quality definitely looks good. Now next let's talk about the ports and connectivity on this laptop. So in terms of ports and connectivity, on the left side you get the 3.5mm audio jack, you have the HDMI port, then the port for here is the ROG XG, the external GPU port, and you also get this USB Type-C port. This is integrated one. If you are connecting the external GPU, you can use this. Then on the right side you get one USB Type-C port and one USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 2 port, and this power button which is also integrated as the fingerprint scanner. Here we have the heat dissipation areas. Here also you can see that the heat dissipation areas, and here we have the USB Type-C port. Now there are two USB Type-C port. Both of the USB Type-C ports supports data, display port, and also charging, so you can use either of the USB Type-C charging port to charge the device. But remember, only if you are charging using the provided 100-watt adapter, you will be able to use the entire options available in the device, because the external charging, USB Type-C charging, will not work with other adapters. You have to use the bundled adapter, which is actually USB Type-C adapter. Now moving on to the performance side. Now this laptop is powered by the Ryzen 9 6900HS, which is a really powerful processor from the AMD's Ryzen series, and this is coupled with 32 gigs of RAM. This is a soldered RAM, and you get 1 TB of SSD. Now this is 8-core 16-thread CPU and looks really powerful, and this is also coupled with the RTX 3050 Ti with 4 GB DDR6 RAM, and you can also see that this is a powerhouse in terms of specification offered. You throw any type of task to it, it performs really well, very smooth. We also did a 4K video editing, ultra smooth experience. So that's one of the good things about this device. It's a literally a powerhouse. Even for gaming, it produces great experience. We tried a few games and it was very smooth, hardly any lag or issues, and there was absolutely no issues in terms of performance. But having said that, a couple of things which are not so great on this laptop is the heat dissipation. First thing is that the heat vents at the top, this section is placed towards the display. As a result, you can actually feel the display getting a bit hotter, and even towards the sides also you can actually feel a lot of heat getting generated, and as a result it does feel a bit hot when using for extreme task. And as a result, you can also feel the fan running at a very high speed. The fan noise is definitely slightly on the higher side. Actually, you can actually hear the fan noise. So that's one thing, because it's a very compact form factor, the heat dissipation does take a toll with the heat, the fan noises, and you can also feel the hot air coming from the vent. So that is directed towards the display. That could have been improved. That's probably one thing we feel ASUS could have improved. So otherwise, this is a really powerhouse, exceptional performance in terms of overall gaming, day-to-day task, even video editing and also photo editing was really breeze on this laptop. Now moving on to the keyboard experience. Now the keyboard is a full-fledged keyboard, and you can see that this has a 1.7mm key travel, which is pretty good actually. The typing experience is solid, and the feedback you get from the keys is also really good. It has a backlit keyboard. You can increase or decrease the brightness of the keyboard, so the typing experience is definitely good. But one thing what we didn't like about the trackpad is while the trackpad experience is very smooth actually, in fact it is very accurate, the right click and the left click feels a bit clunky in nature. That could have been slightly better overall experience, especially considering that this is a bit more premium laptop. We felt the trackpad experience, especially the buttons, could be definitely better, but otherwise the keyboard and the trackpad experience is solid. Now on the front here you can see that the bezels, you have a webcam here, and pretty good in terms of experience. It's a 720p camera, but then you get a decent experience while video calls, and you get a fingerprint scanner here. This is a side mounted fingerprint scanner. The power button also acts as the fingerprint scanner. Now talking about the battery, you get a 62 watt hour battery with 100 watt charging support. Now the battery performance is quite good. If you are into casual work at 50% brightness, you get around 6 to 7 hours of battery life in mixed usage. If you are just casual casual work, you can extend it up to 8 hours, but with mixed usage, you can get around 6 to 7 hours. This does not include gaming, but of course, if you want to do gaming, you have to connect it to the adapter only when you get the best experience with the turbo mode kicking in. So that is one of the things you should be looking at, because if you are gaming, of course, you won't be using the battery, it will be connected to the power source. Now, in terms of software experience, it comes with Windows 11, and you get the Armory Crate and other applications generally you see on a ASUS laptop. You can configure that, so that way also it is pretty good. Now, summing up, how good is the ASUS ROG Flow X13, the 2022 edition? So in terms of overall experience, it's a powerhouse, great experience with editing. Display is good, the keyboard experience is good, the build quality is good, the display overall experience is good. You can also turn it to a foldable laptop if you are using it as a multimedia experience. 2-in-1 experience is also pretty good. Now, the only downside I felt was the heat dissipation is slightly on the higher side, and also the fan noise is on the higher side. You can actually hear the fans running with pretty loud noise, especially if you are into heavy tasks, and also the heat generated is directed towards the display. That could have been better is what we feel. Overall, if you're looking for a premium ultrabook laptop which doesn't throttle in terms of performance, you get the 2-in-1 experience and also the ROG branding with the powerful hardware, then the ROG Flow X13 is definitely one of the premium ultrabook portable laptops, just 1.3 kilograms in weight. So that was our experience using the ROG Flow X13. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.